Hey, welcome to Palm Springs, California. We're here at the Frank Bogart trailhead here down on the south side of Palm Springs. We're about to hike Murray Hill, which is W6 Sierra Delta 368. Today we've got about well, let's look at the trail real quick. This is going to be about a 3.5 mile trip up, and with about 1,800 feet of elevation gain, and then 7 miles round trip. Never been up this, researched it, don't really know what to expect, so we'll just see how it goes. But it's evidently got really nice views of Palm Springs up there. I'm real partial to this area. Me and my wife, when we were a young couple, used to come out here constantly. And when I was still active duty with the fire guys, we'd come out here and golf all the time. So this is a really nice area. I still like it a lot. Let's talk about the solar weather right now. The solar weather, let's show it. Okay, so we have a flux of 80, which is good. I'm a little bit of a loss. We have a K of 1, and we have an elevated A, which that's probably because we've had some corneal mass injection wind blowing through here. I think it's CME of 15 or something like that. That BZ of minus 4.1 is still weird. And we're still cranking along, what was it the last time I looked? It was 449 kilometers per second on the wind. I don't know. So people are still complaining about the conditions aren't very good. We'll see. Because we don't have a good feel for what the activation area looks like, I'm packing in two different antenna systems. I'm packing in the band springer, and I'm packing in the LNR 10, 20, 40 trail friendly end-fed half wave, and we'll see what it's like up there. Because we are packing in so much gear, I had to pull some weight, so we're not doing VHF at all today. We basically, the only path we had up here was to more of the Coachella Valley, and then we had a small chance that we could get into Yuma, and I wanted to save some weight, so we pulled the weight, and we'll see how that goes. I've never been up this trail before. We're going to learn together. I know a lot of you guys probably hams come out here to golf, and I just thought we'd come out here and see what this peak's about. We had to do it today, and here's why. Yesterday it was raining out here, 30-mile-an-hour winds. Today it's very light winds, 72 degrees, perfect. In a couple days it's going to be 107 out here. I'm not hiking this in 107, nor should you think about hiking this in the summertime. This is definitely a wintertime, springtime hike. So let's get on the trail and we'll get to the top. We'll evaluate the area once we get up there, and then we'll throw a wire up and get going. Let's get going.
So the trailhead starts at a real nice parking area, the Frank Bogart trailhead. It starts off with kind of like it looks like an old roadway that was used to put in a couple of water tanks up there. Has since been reduced down to use of just the hikers now. The one thing that's unusual about this trail is I don't think it was set up this way intentionally, but just about the time your legs feel like they're getting tired, you come to a nice flat area. So off of this trail comes this, or that roadway comes this single track dirt road. This is the Frank Bogart trail that's going to head on up toward the top of the summit. This is a climb, and the viewpoint there represents 1,300 feet of climbing on your part, and that's kind of not the high point, but there's not a whole lot of hard hiking after that. Once you get to the top, you're going to come in to meet with the Wild Horse Trail. You're going to take that to the right and head on up. This is the section where it's going to get hard. And now you're going to get the first view of Murray Hill, which seems like it's a world away from you, and then the viewpoint from a different direction. But this is a lot of uphill, a lot of switchbacks. So for the next half mile, you're going to be putting some work in. That's okay though, because once you get to the top of the viewpoint, all the uphill after that, it's not, I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's nothing compared to what you've just done. So the views are starting to get pretty good up there, but you're going to walk along the ridge line here. And basically, you're going to join up with the Clara Burgess Trail. And from the Clara Burgess Trail here, the split, you want to go to the left, okay? Because if you go to the right, you hike off into the abyss. And this, basically, there's some uphill involved here, but like I said, the uphill on the Clara Burgess is nothing compared to the uphill previous. So it's just a nice steady climb up to the next ridge line. I talked to some locals that were coming down, and they saw me in my snake gaiters, and they asked me if I'd seen any snakes. And when I got to talking to them, they said, yeah, they see snakes up there. But when you get to the top of this ridge, there it is. That's Murray Hill right there in front of you. You're going to hike along this ridge, and then you're going to come down into a saddle. And from that saddle, you're going to pick up the trail. And it's just a couple more switchbacks till you get to the top, okay? It's nothing big. It's just maybe, I don't even think it's a couple hundred feet. You're just going to climb on up to along the edge here. Really good views of the Palm Springs Valley below. But this is no big deal. I mean, it looks in the video kind of tough. Trust me, it's not that big of a deal. It's actually a really nice trail. And then you just come along, and pretty soon you see some fence posts off to your right, and that tells you, hey, welcome to the top. There's going to be some picnic benches. I have no idea how they got picnic benches up there. Somehow a rope and a helicopter comes to mind, but I don't know that to be true. But once you get up on top here, just fantastic views. Before you set up your radio, just take a time to climb around and look at all the views, because you basically can see as far as you want. It's just a great spot up here, and just some fantastic views. It was an enjoyable hike.
Well, we made it to the top. We're up here on Murray Hill, and it's kind of cool. They got like 3 picnic benches up here. And looking over the antenna situation, it's a real narrow activation area. I mean, it's got lots of room, but I just don't want to be in the way of people. So what I'm thinking about doing, I think I'm going to set up on my mast here the 7000 HDS and run my end fed over here where we're set up. I think that's going to be about my only choice. I'm kind of out on a cliff here, so I think I'll run the end fed over here. So that means we're going to be limited to 40, 20, and 10. But that's okay. Those are our big dollar bands, so I don't think we'll miss out on anything. The hike up here is interesting. It's a job. You earn this peak. It's not a giveaway, but it's unique in that just when you're hitting a hill and you're starting to feel the burn and you're really getting tired, then they come across a pretty wide flat area, and it's like that all the way. It's really a super nice trail and well thought out. So whoever designed this, kudos. And let's get set up, see who's out there. The setup here. Almost pulled this off flawlessly, except last night when I changed my plans. Instead of putting the 7000 HDS in, I put the Tactical Mini, but oh well. Got it up on this knoll here. And then we're just running the PAR EFT 10, 20, 40 trail friendly, through my head to my hiking stick, and then voila, we got a really nice area to activate from. We're gonna get on the air, find out who's out there. Well, we finished the activation. It was okay. It wasn't great. Kind of what I thought. No disappointments. 18 contacts. You might have noticed I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm no longer electronically logging. I think the programs are great, and I think if you grew up with that technology and you have all that stuff down, I spent more time trying to correct my entries than I did listening to the contacts. So I decided to go back to paper. I know it's an old fart thing, but I'm an old fart. Did I say 18 contacts? Yeah, we got Christian in there from France, and all the signals seem just kind of, on the soft side, so I think the bands are still a little bit torn up. This is a great hike, but for God's sake, don't do it in the summertime. He's been waiting for me to croak. Yeah. So he's ready to pick at my bones once I go. So I thought we'd come up here. Oh, I'm not taking your spot. Leave me alone. And just take a peek around up here. Staying near vertical drop off here. But boy, the views are just to kill for. I thought you might want to just take a peek before we got out of here. So, kind of up in there, that's up toward Mount San Jacinto. Now, that's not Mount San Jacinto there. That's basically where the tramway goes. That's kind of a false summit. The actual summit's pushed back away, but this is all down through Apache Peak and down through Palm View, which you access up a different way. And then down here we got the wind farms way out there, and this is Palm Springs right here. And then this is Cathedral City over here. Then I believe this is Rancho Mirage and La Quinta way over there, but man, this is awesome. So yeah, move this microphone back around so I don't look like an idiot. I don't know where we're headed next. Here's why I don't know. I get shot number 2 on Monday, so that kind of, I don't know. Once I grow a tail, my tongue forks. I'm not sure how I'll activate, but we'll see how it goes. What I'd like to do is do a VHF only activation and pit my handheld 3-element beam up against the 4-element on a mast, and I kind of want to do that because if you look at the photographs on the SOTA page from Europe, and Europe's big into VHF, UHF activations. Most of their, some of their stuff's handheld, but most of their stuff's up on a mast. And I'd like to see if there's a big difference between my 4-element on a mast and my 3-element handheld, given there's virtually no line loss with my handheld because it's a 6-foot patch cord, so it's very little. And with my mast, I'm going to have some loss in that 8X going all the way up. We might try that. We may head out to Windy Point and try to talk up to LA, which would be about 130 miles. So let's go the after action report, and we'll talk about this a little bit. And I enjoyed having you along. Again, if you're in the Palm Springs area and it's not egg frying on the street weather, and it's fairly cool. Like today, it's actually on the cooler side. I don't think it's 72. I think it's 60 something. This is a good hike if you're somewhat conditioned. I mean, you earn this peak. This peak isn't given to you. There's about, I'm going to guess by the time I get back to the car, close to 18 to 2,000 feet of elevation gain. And we're kind of like on the edge of, I don't know, 6 or 7 miles. But it's a long day. It's a full day. Lots of water. Bring something to eat. Have a good time. Hey, we'll see you guys soon. Take care.
So the Murray Hill hike, you're going to have about 7.1 miles round trip. Yeah, it's about 3.5, a little over to get to the summit. By the time you're done and you get back to the car, you're probably going to bank about 2,000 feet of elevation gain. So it's a hike, but like I said earlier, it's really well structured. So it seems not as bad as 2,000 feet normally. So the activation area, it's really weird. It's kind of narrow up there, but it's really busy up there, and basically the trail goes right through the middle of the activation area. So that being said, I don't know that I could get a large like V antenna up there. I was really happy with the way that the NFED worked out. The problem was I took the mast up. I'll talk about that here in a minute. But the activation area, be aware, it's kind of narrow. You're not going to have a lot of room. There's a lot of people up there, and right through the center of it is a problem. Cell service up there was great. Verizon was good. But here, let me talk a little bit about this. We always talk about backup plans, backup communications. On the way out, I noticed my phone was deathly quiet, and I decided to make a phone call to my wife and got a recording that all the circuits were busy. And pretty soon I started hearing the hams on one of the local repeaters talking about, hey, there's an outage, what's going on? Basically, Verizon dropped off the map, basically through the eastern portions of San Bernardino County and through parts of Riverside County. So for the most part of the hike out, I had no cell service anymore. So had I gotten into trouble, that's when you need that 2-meter repeater program for local repeaters. That was my only saving grace to get help had I needed it. APRS is good. Multiple digipeaters in the region started picking me up once I transitioned from the Frank Bogart trail to the Wild Horse. Started getting hits then. The peak was fine. I was hitting on many of them. VHF profile. You know, it's good for the local area. There's just not a major population center that you can hit from up there, so I elected to kind of pass on it. Noise sources up there? None. Didn't hear anything. This is one of the best maintained trails I've been on. Whoever's keeping these trails up, it's a real nice structure of trails, and boy, they've done a really nice job up there. It's really nice up there. Overall difficulty, it's moderate overall, I'd say, but you're going to work at it. By the end of the day, you're going to know that you hiked this. But again, it's structured very well. I really liked it. Equipment today was real basic. The Yaesu FT817ND. Elected to go with the PAR EFT 102040 trail friendly. Didn't do VHF at all. For weight, I ran the RG174. Up there again, and then the boo-boo was the Soda Beams Tactical Mini. I didn't swap it out. Most of, I think, the horrible performance was the fact that my NFED was way too low. It was just too low. The Soda Beams Tactical Mini is 19.5 feet tall. I wanted to take the 7000, which is 23.5 feet tall. Now that I know what it's like up there, I think the mast of preference I'd probably try to hike into there is probably going to be the Jack Kite 31-footer. I think that would have helped me out a lot had I done that. 18 contacts, 40 and 20, didn't try 10. No VHF contacts. I only use CW, and again, man, the reports I got out of the northwest Seattle area were horrible, and they weren't hearing me either. And it was probably all related to the fact that my NFED half wave was just way too low. It was on the backside of the mountain, and that was probably my fault. All right, so if you guys decide to do this hike, have a blast. Be sure to watch your weather. That's going to be your number one concern. So you take care. See you on the next one.